I need to tell you something that might sound a little shocking at first. I'm becoming unemployable. And I don't mean that in a way that people usually mean it, like I'm difficult to work with or I've been out of the workforce too long. I mean it in the most intentional, liberating way possible. I'm structuring my life so that I don't need to be employed, so that my income doesn't depend on whether someone decides I'm valuable enough to keep around. And here's the thing, once you start thinking this way, you can't go back because you realize the whole game was designed to keep you asking for permission. Permission to earn, permission to live well, permission to build wealth. But what if you stopped asking? Let me take you back to when this clicked for me. I was listening to the news talk about yet another round of layoffs, but this time it was from a tech company. I had always thought that these were the jobs that were supposed to be safe. Remember when schools were telling everyone to learn how to code? That's when I realized no matter how good I was at my job, I was always one decision away from losing everything I'd built. Someone in a conference room I'd never stepped foot in could decide I wasn't necessary anymore. And that's when the mind shift happened. I stopped thinking of myself as an employee and started thinking of myself as a business. Not in that hustle culture, build a brand, sell courses kind of way. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about something much deeper, a structural shift in how you see yourself in the economy. Because here's what I've learned, if corporations can legally qualify as persons and get all these rights, the ability to own property, enter contracts, take on debt, protect their assets, why can't you think of yourself in the same way? Why can't you be a legal entity that corporations can hire if they want to, but that doesn't need them to survive? Stay with me here because this is where it gets interesting. Corporations are legally considered persons. They have rights. They can own things. They can make money. They can exist separately from the people who run them. And we've all been taught to see ourselves as individuals trying to get hired by these corporate persons. But what if you structured yourself or your family as a mini business, a household that operates like a corporation? You're not just a person selling your labor to the highest bidder. You're a business that corporations can hire for your services if you choose to let them. But your foundation, your financial security, that's built on assets, things you own, things that produce income whether you show up to a job or not. And here's the kicker, you don't build that foundation on things only you can do. You build it on things the rich are already buying. That means real estate, Bitcoin, dividend paying stocks, income producing assets. If you can't sell your labor to rich elites, or if you don't want to anymore, sell them assets they already want more of. Or better yet, acquire the same assets they're acquiring and let those assets work for you. This is what I call the family business mindset. And I'm not just talking about you, I'm talking about your whole household operating as a business. Many of you are already familiar with STEAM, S-T-E-A-M. But for those of you who aren't, STEAM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Art, and Math. Every role in your household can fit into this framework. And when you operate as a family business, everyone has a role. Everyone is learning. Everyone is building skills that create value. Let me give you an example. Technology and engineering, Bitcoin mining, learning about renewable energy and sustainable energy mining rigs. Your household becomes the owner of income producing tech, not just the user of someone else's platform. Math and science, dividend investing, understanding the fundamentals versus technicals, teaching your kids or yourself how to read financial statements and assess undervalued investments. Art and media, content creation, AI assisted video production, short films, ads, marketing, storytelling. This is how you communicate your value and build visibility in a decentralized economy. And here's the beautiful part. If you have dependents, teenagers or young adults, they can become legitimate paid employees within your family business. You're not just teaching them how to get a job someday, you're teaching them how to think like owners, how to acquire assets, how to build systems that work for them. You're preparing them to be unemployable too. Now, let's talk about the foundation. I keep coming back to Bitcoin because it's the one asset that's truly global, decentralized, and impossible for any one institution to control. Rich people are buying it, corporations are buying it, entire countries are buying it, and you can too. You don't need a massive amount of capital to start. You can dollar cost average. You can mine it. You can accept it as payment for your services. The point is, you're building wealth on something that they can't control, that you can own, that works across borders. Because here's the truth, and I'm speaking from experience now. Once your mining rig is earning your first $100 in profit for your family business, or your AI influencer agency gets signed to promote a neighborhood clothing store, you start to feel unemployable in the best way. So here's what I'd encourage you to sit with. What if you stopped structuring your life around being employed and started structuring it around being fundable? What if the future you're working toward isn't a promotion or a bigger paycheck, but a life where your money works for you? Your kids understand how wealth actually works, and you get to show up in the room shaping the future, not because someone let you in, but because you belong there. This is the mindset shift. This is becoming unemployable. And honestly, it's one of the most freeing decisions I've ever made. If this resonates with you and you'd like to hear more about how I'm building this life through Bitcoin, dividend investing, AI power systems, and community, then like, comment, share, and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. And maybe drop a comment letting me know. Are you ready to become unemployable too? Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.